ISO 27001 Annex A 5.33 protection of records. Okay, this is quite general in terms and there is a simple approach to it, and much of this you're already going to be doing, but let's start off with a definition. What the standard is looking for us to do is records should be protected from loss, destruction, falsification, unauthorized access and unauthorized release. This is a generalistic control really in many ways, right? Information security is about the confidentiality, integrity and availability of data, the right access to the right data by the right people at the right time. And this is basically just saying that, right? You've got to protect records from those risks, right? From the risk of loss, destruction, falsification, unauthorized access and release. What do we mean by that? And when we're looking at records, records are everything, right? They are digital records and they are paper records, right? So this is anything that exists that has something written on it, in effect, right? In its widest sense. So you are going to know within your environment what your records are. You're going to know if you have paper or not. You're going to know if you have technological and digital copies or not. So what we're doing is through a combination of Annex A controls, you're heavily reliant on a number of other Annex A controls here, right? We're going to protect and evidence that we protect records. We're going to have a policy. We're going to have a policy about document management that's going to reference the protection of records. We've got other policies on access control, for example, right, about how we access records that help you to fully meet this requirement. So we need to decide what kind of records are included. It's just another term for data and information an organization retains or uses, and it can include things like events, transactions, processes, activities, functions, databases, you name it, it can include it. But you manage that, right? You're going to manage that and you're going to protect that. So guidelines need to be provided. We've got a number of different ways that we're already doing that. We've got information classification. We've already identified a classification scheme. We've covered information classification. We put rules around what we need to do with records and data based on its classification. So you're going to refer back to that. We're going to put in place things like retention schedules. Retention schedules as part of our data asset registers, as part of our business continuity, as part of our other Annex A controls is what data we've got, how long we keep it for. Again, you know, guided by data protection in some instances, with laws around what we can and can't do and how long we can keep it for. We're going to look at things like legislation. We're looking at our legal and contractual register that says what is it that we need to do with certain records and certain record types. And we've got things like destruction of records and destruction of data that we've already defined. We've already looked at controls around encryption and what we need to do for encryption and when encryption might apply. And we've looked at laws that might influence the level of encryption that we've got. And we're going to touch upon metadata, and there are other blogs and guides on metadata. So what this is it isn't a standalone control. It's a standalone statement of intent, right? You will have protection of records. You will define what those records are. You have a data asset register that defines them, and then you will protect them for confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. And the way that you will do that is through the implementation of the Annex A controls that we've covered and we are going to cover going forward. So it is a nice easy one. It's a nice easy one to implement. It doesn't necessarily add any more value than the other controls. It kind of wraps them, but it is worth knowing that it's there and it's easy for us to implement. Nice quick one today, guys, because we've covered most of this on other tutorials and we're going to cover it on tutorials going forward. So I am Stuart Barker. I am the ISO 27001 Ninja, the online guru for ISO 27001, hand-holding you through your journey to implementation, giving you the guidance that you need and tips. So and until the next tutorial, peace out.